What's going on, everybody? Friday here, Friday's Gear Reviews, and today I am super excited because we are going to talk about two of the most beloved flashlights in the EDC game, and that's going to be the CWF Mini Arc and the Okluma DC0. So let me get some side notes out of the way. First of all, this is made from Magnesium, but we're going to be doing it as a review on the titanium version. The big difference is the titanium is not going to be Cerakoted and it's going to have knurling and a little bit heavier. So keep that in mind. But the way I have structured this review is I'm going to do, I have some categories here. I think I have 6 categories, and I'm going to give points about each one, talk about the features of each one in that category. And then at the end, we're going to talk about winner-wise for each category. And I'm going to basically have it to where if you like these features, this is your light. If you like these features, this is your light. And I'll kind of give an overall winner for each category for my pick. And then at the end of the review itself, I'm going to give an overall winner for, overall winner as a whole, and then my pick. And then at the very end of that, we're going to do it to where I'm going to take kind of the this version right here specifically and compare it to this in terms of size, things like that, and what I would pick from these specific ones out of the two. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump back into this. Both of these are 14500 flashlights. They're both made in the United States. They're small batch, high-end, collector vibe kind of lights, but they're very different in personality. So let's go ahead and get into the build quality here and materials and feel. So the Mini Arc feels like something you would find in the secret drawer of a billionaire's desk. The materials on these are going to be titanium, brass, copper, mokume, zircotai. Charles's finishes and materials are just incredible. I mean, like for a micro Arcadian, he did one that was literally zircotai with meteorite as an inlay. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, if he could do that with this, or with a micro Arcadian, he could definitely do it with this guy here. The machining on these are just flawless. It's incredible. Every detail feels like it's deliberate. And then with finishes on the titanium, you have a tumbled or you have a blasted. Now this one specifically is the tumbled, but that finish gives you that premium but tough and rugged energy here. But let's go ahead to the DCO now. I mean, because this is no slouch either. The titanium DCO feels like a titanium tank, if you will, that you take on a survival trip and you trust. The light is understated. I mean, the finish on the titanium one is a smooth stonewash finish. The light is just reliable, solid, clean. There's no crazy materials on this one right here, on the titanium one. Unless you get one of the elusive mokume ones, or this magnesium, for instance, or the zircotai. It's just an overall simple, great light in the best possible way, of course. Now, the winner here, if you are into the exotic materials in the Flex, this is your guy for sure. But if you want that minimalist, rugged aesthetic, the DCO is your guy. And then as far as my pick goes, I'm going Mini Arc. I like the exotic materials and I do like the Flex. Love simplicity, but for this specific category, I'm going with the Mini Arc. So next, let's get into size and carry. And this is kind of one where the Mini Arc runs away with it, for sure. So the Mini Arc is short, stout, super pocket friendly, very, very easy to carry around all day. Slides right into either a coin pocket or like a fifth pocket or a regular front pocket. Due to the lack of knurling or any type of crazy machining on here, which can be good and bad if you notice the light is very, very slick. But it's very easy to carry. Now, the DCO is a little bit longer, but it's still very, very carryable. The deep carry clip is really nice. It's going to be heavier, of course, but it really does disappear in your pants. So winners here, the CWF is more compact, but the DCO is still very carryable. It's got a little bit more heft to it. Some people like the extra heft. But for me personally, it's going to be the Mini Arc again. Just the compactness is undeniable. I like something that's easy to carry, so I personally am going to take the Mini Arc on this one. So let's go ahead and talk about beam pattern and LEDs as our next category here. So the Mini Arc runs the Nichia 219C with a 4,000 Kelvin CRI. Now there are two versions of this Mini Arc. There is the 4,000 and 5,000 Kelvin version. Same Nichia 219C, but this is the 4,000 Kelvin version. And then the DCO is going to be a Nichia 519A with a 4,500 Kelvin CRI. Both give you a real world kind of, what you're looking at normally is what you're going to see under light. It's not really blue. It's kind of a natural tint. The difference here is going to be the Mini Arc uses a smooth reflector that's going to be so you can reach out farther. It's going to have a more defined hot spot, but it's not as wide of a flood as something like the DCO, on the other hand, that uses a TIR optic, and gives you that, let's see here. There's really no defined hotspot here. It's more all flood, if you will. This one has the 20-degree optic in there, just for clarification. So, winners here, if you want that bit more reach, things like that, you're okay with the hotspot, the Mini Arc's going to be your guy. But if you like the more floody type of appearance, the DCO is going to be your guy. For me in this category, the winner is going to be the DCO. For what I need this light for, the DCO fits the bill. I want more of a flood. I'm looking for my keys. I'm looking for, something under the couch. Like, this is what I'm looking for. I don't need a hotspot to see under the couch. So this is where things really start to separate, though, because the user interface and driver, the two ways these lights approach this philosophy here are completely different. So the Mini Arc comes standard with the Quantum Chimera driver, which is awesome. It's fully programmable. It has 10 mode groups from moonlight to strobe to turbo to memory modes, you name it. Once you dial this in, you really feel like you're controlling a lightsaber, if you will. The DCO, on the other hand, comes with a simple 3-mode user interface. There is moonlight, there is low, and then you have high. And that's it. It's very simple, no bells and whistles, click and go. There are ways to upgrade this, but I like the standard click and go type mentality. So I just kept it the same. So as far as winners go, if you want the total control, you want to be able to control every aspect of this light, then you want to go with the Mini Arc. But if you like the press and forget simplicity, this is your guy. And for me, the pick, it really is super simple, and it's going to be the DCO. I am very simple. I am not a flashlight nerd. I don't fully understand programming. For me, this is what I want. I like 3 modes. I like to press and know what modes I'm going to be in. So DCO is going to win it here. Now, we'll go into everyday use and reliability and ruggedness, if you will. And here's the thing. Both lights are built to last. You're not really going to break either one. The Mini Arc is a little bit more refined than the DCO. Can definitely take a beating, but if you have one of the more exotic versions, you might cry if you drop it. The DCO, on the other hand, is built to be used and abused. It's like a custom tool for the apocalypse, if you will. So the winners here are going to go with, if you're carrying art, if you're into carrying art that just so happens to be a flashlight, the Mini Arc is your guy. But if you want hard use and rugged reliability, the DCO is your guy. And for me, the DCO is going to take it again. I like the when I hold this in hand, to me personally, I feel like this is more hard use than this. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a phenomenal light. I paid full price for it. I love this light, the Passion. And we're going to get to price next. So pricing and availability. So the mini arc is 500 smackaroos, which is high, but worth it. 100% worth it. This is going to be 500, but one positive thing is this is going to be pretty available. Charles drops these pretty frequently, and there's multiple retailers that carry them, which is really, really nice. The DCO, on the other hand, is $450, so $50 cheaper. The titanium version specifically is a little bit different. But there's a lot less frequent drops. It's very hard to get them unless you go to the secondary. So there is that. There is an exclusivity aspect that comes with the DCO versus the CWF. But anyways, we'll go to winners here. The mini arc, if you want Grail tier gear, and you're okay with the cost, that would be kind of your guy here. The DCO is price to performance ratio. And honestly, if I had to choose, I'm going DCO. I like the exclusivity factor. I like the fact that it's $50 cheaper. That's kind of my thing, you know. It just, for me, that kind of makes the most sense. So let's go to final thoughts to kind of end this comparison here. If you want something wildly customizable, pocketable, beautiful, just if you geek out over driver tech, things like that, the CWF Mini Arc is going to be your pick. On the other hand, if you want something bomb-proof, simple, built to survive anything and go anywhere, the DCO is your guy. My pick personally, if you keep keeping score here, 2 to 4, I am going to pick the DCO, titanium DCO, and I will get into these two specific ones in a second. But if it were my choice between the titanium DCO and the titanium mini arc, I am picking the DCO every time. I really just like the simplicity of the DCO. Not to mention, there is a feature that is a very big deal to me on these, and that is momentary. So for instance, I'm not clicking. I can click if I like it, but I am not clicking. I'm half pressing. This one, in order to get that and the light on, you have to fully click it. Now you can half press to ramp up, but personally, I like the momentary feature on this versus this. Not to mention, I feel like I said, the DCO just is a little bit cheaper, and it's a super rugged light. Not that the mini arc is not, but I pick personally, if we're titanium to titanium, the DCO. Now, that being said, we'll talk about these two specifically. The Magnesium DCO versus the CWF Mini Arc. And if you want to learn more about the Magnesium DCO, I have a full review on it. But the Magnesium DCO does something that really evens the playing field here on a lot of aspects to this light. So the weight on here is literally half of the titanium one. So, and we'll get into weights here and how it stacks up to the mini arc here. So we'll move this guy out of the way real quick. We'll bring the scale in and weigh them. So usually this one is, without a battery, 59 grams, which is 2.3 ounces. And this one without a battery is a lot less. But let's go ahead and see how they are a lot closer. So we'll start with the mini arc here. The mini arc is going to weigh with a battery 2.15 ounces. And the DCO and Magnesium without a battery is going to weigh 1.81 ounces. So it really is about a 0.3 ounce difference. So there is that. So you can keep that in mind. And then also, some people don't like the knurling on these, on the DCO, because it tears the bands up. This one specifically does not have knurling, so it kind of puts it on a level playing field with this. It still has these little grooves in it, which definitely help with grip. But as far as knurling goes, if that's kind of not your thing, this one's pretty cool how it doesn't have knurling to it. The next thing here is going to be this guy is more, it feels more durable than this guy. Now, I know magnesium's still plenty durable, but this one feels more durable. So it kind of brings me to the next thing here. Which one would I pick out of these two? And the answer is going to be the titanium mini arc. And that is strictly due to durability over time. I know I said the momentary is a big deal, but if we're choosing between this guy and this guy, this is going to be the clear winner here. Now, if we're doing titanium and titanium, the DCO is going to be the winner. But if we're doing titanium to magnesium, this is the guy here. Anyways, hope you liked the review. If you did, please drop a like, share, subscribe. If you have any comments you want to add to this guy, please throw them in the comments down there. And hope y'all have a great day, and thanks for stopping by.